A $300 Ruger just outperformed an $800 pistol on every metric that actually matters in the real world. Not on paper, on the range. Right now, in 2026, the handgun market is handing smart buyers an opportunity that hasn't existed in years. I've identified 10 pistols under $400 that destroy the logo tax myth completely. My number one pick is going to cost you an argument. Let's get into it. Number 10, Taurus G3C. Most people dismiss Taurus before they ever rack the slide. That is the logo tax doing its job, keeping money in premium brand pockets and doubt in yours. The G3C is a subcompact 9mm with a 3.26-inch barrel, a 12-round flush magazine, and a restrike capability that lets you hit a dud round twice without cycling the action. No tap rack drill, no fumbled magazine in the dark. Just pull the trigger again and the next chamber is already waiting. Taurus spent years fixing the reliability complaints that plagued their earlier platforms. The G3C reflects that work. Street price right now is $250 to $300. You are buying a carry-capable pistol for the price of a range bag at most gun stores. The shooter who paid $700 for the same capability paid $400 in pure story. That story does not make the bullet go faster. Number 9. Canik TP9SF Elite. Turkey manufactures some of the most underrated handguns on the market, and the American gun community is slowly figuring that out. The TP9SF Elite is a full-size 9mm with a 15-round magazine and a factory trigger that most $600 pistols require an aftermarket upgrade to match. Short reset, clean break, consistent wall on every single pull. It ships with 2 magazines, a holster, a cleaning rod, and a hard case. Those are accessories other manufacturers charge separately for without apology. The slide is optics ready from the factory, with a Warren tactical rear sight installed as standard equipment. Current pricing sits at $320 to $370. Hand this pistol to someone without telling them the price, and they will guess $500. The gap between what they guess and what you paid is the logo tax working in reverse. For once entirely in your favor. Number 8. Smith & Wesson Shield Plus. The Shield Plus solved the problem that killed every subcompact before it: capacity. The original Shield held 7 or 8 rounds. The Plus bumps that to 10 flush and 13 extended with no change to grip width. Same slim profile, same 3.1-inch barrel, same holster compatibility. Smith & Wesson's manufacturing consistency means every Shield Plus clears the same quality control checkpoints, and their lifetime service policy is one they actually honor, not a marketing footnote buried in a manual that nobody reads. New models land at $420 to $480. Used Shield Plus pistols are moving at $300 to $360 right now because dealers overstocked. A carry gun from a 170-year-old American manufacturer at budget pricing is not a situation you walk past. Walther engineers the PDP trigger from scratch to beat every striker-fired competitor in feel and consistency. That is not a marketing claim. It is a design brief they publish and stand behind. The PDP Compact runs a 4-inch barrel, a 15-round magazine, and a grip texture that is aggressive without being punishing on extended range sessions. The optics cut is factory standard on every single model, no upgrade package, no additional cost. It is machined in, ready for glass when you are. Used PDP compacts are sitting at $380 to $430 in a market that over-ordered. 18 months ago, this pistol was $599. The gun did not change. The inventory math did. That difference is yours if you pay attention. Number 6. CZ P10C. CZ has been building precision firearms in the Czech Republic for over a century. The P10C shows what that century of manufacturing looks like when applied to a modern compact 9mm at a price that makes the American market uncomfortable. It ships with a 15-round magazine and a cold hammer forged barrel. It has a trigger the firearms community spent years telling Glock to build, with an audible reset, short travel, and a repeatable break. The grip angle sits closer to a 1911 than a Glock, so most shooters point it more naturally without retraining their wrist. New P10C pricing ranges from $380 to $430. Used examples are clearing at $300 to $360 because buyers passed on them for recognizable names. That is your value advantage. Take it. Before the Hellcat, micro-compact carry meant accepting 6 or 7 rounds and calling it a trade-off. Springfield looked at that trade-off and eliminated it completely. 10 rounds flush, 13 rounds extended, and a 3.2-inch barrel. A grip texture aggressive enough that under stress, with wet hands, in low light, the pistol stays exactly where you put it. The OSP version ships optics ready. The trigger on the Hellcat is the best factory trigger Springfield has ever put on a carry platform, with short pre-travel, a clean break, and a fast reset that rewards disciplined shooting technique. New Hellcats run $400 to $450. Used ones are at $300 to $360. Calling this the most capable micro-compact on the market at budget pricing is a sentence that should end with a purchase, not a shrug. Number 4. Glock 19 Gen 5 used. The new Glock 19 Gen 5 costs $530 to $600. A used Gen 5 in solid condition costs $380 to $440. The same 34 parts, the same cold hammer forged marksman barrel, the same striker-fired simplicity that has run without complaint through police departments, special operations units, and civilian holsters across every continent on Earth. The used Gen 5 has already absorbed the first 500 rounds that smooth out every action surface naturally. The aftermarket is the largest in the industry. Parts, holsters, triggers, optics mounts, everything exists for this platform, everywhere, always. Commonality is real-world value, not spec sheet value, the kind that matters when you need a part in a town with one gun store and limited shelf space. If this breakdown is already saving you money, hit subscribe. We do this every week. Real value, no logo tax. Back to the list. Here is where the $700 crowd gets uncomfortable. The Ruger Security 9 is a full-size 9mm with a 15-round magazine, a 4-inch barrel, and a locked breech design built around a glass-filled nylon frame over a full-length steel chassis, not a cost-cutting plastic shell. A genuine structural component keeps the receiver rigid under thousands of rounds of sustained fire. The trigger breaks consistently at around 5 pounds, with a wall that rewards controlled shooting. The slide is through-hardened alloy steel. Ruger backs it with a warranty they honor without argument and without requiring registration. Street price right now is from $280 to $320. The gap between this pistol and an $800 competitor is not mechanical. It is not measurable on a target. It is a logo on the slide and a price tag built around the assumption that you won't look closely. Look closely. The Max 9 is what Ruger built when they asked one question: what is the most gun we can fit into the smallest package at the lowest honest price? 10 rounds flush, 12 rounds extended, a 3.2-inch barrel, an optics-ready slide with a cover plate that swaps without tools. The factory trigger is the cleanest Ruger has ever shipped on a carry platform, light, consistent, with a reset short enough that follow-up shots feel automatic rather than deliberate. At $299 to $349, the Max 9 makes the entire micro-compact premium market look like an exercise in brand mythology. Competitors sell equivalent capability for $499 to $599. Ruger kept the manufacturing in America, kept the quality standards, and closed the price gap completely. The only thing missing is the name you've been told to trust. That name is costing other people $200 every single time they walk into a gun store. Number 1. Ruger American Pistol Compact. Here is the argument I promised at the start. The most underrated handgun in America right now is not a Glock. It is not a Sig Sauer. It is the Ruger American Pistol Compact, and the reason nobody talks about it is exactly why you should buy it. Full-size 9mm capacity compressed into a compact frame. A modular grip system with swappable backstraps that actually fits different hand sizes without an aftermarket purchase. An integrated Picatinny rail. A 17-round magazine in a package smaller than a Glock 17. The pretensioned striker trigger breaks at a consistent 6.5 pounds, with a reset that competes with pistols twice the price. Ruger's cold hammer forged barrel delivers accuracy and service life without the premium attached. New Ruger American compact pistols are sitting at $350 to $400. Used ones are at $270 to $330. This is a full capability duty pistol being ignored by every buyer who is paying for recognition instead of engineering. An $800 pistol does not hit harder. It does not last longer. It does not shoot faster. It has a more familiar name. And in 2026, that name costs you $400 to $500 in pure logo tax that buys you nothing downrange. 10 pistols. One conclusion. The logo on the slide does not load the magazine. Drop your current carry gun and what you paid for it in the comments. I want to see exactly what the name cost you. If this list saved you money before your next purchase, send it to someone who is about to spend $700 on a story they do not need. Gear under fire. See you in the next one.